So, you're not inviting your parents, your brother, your sister, your cousin, etc. to your holiday party because they're insert a different political ideology like Democrat, Republican, Socialist, Fascist. This has gotten really out of hand this year, and I get it. Many of us maybe aren't exactly happy with the election results, but I personally find it too extreme to cut off family members with different political beliefs. I'm not sure about you, but I've always felt like an outsider when it comes to my own beliefs, so I've had to cope with it throughout life. I immigrated to the US with my parents from China at an early age, and although they've come here for a better life, they still held on to their Chinese nationalism. Meanwhile, I read the Pledge of Allegiance every day in school in America and was fed the American perspective on everything, including China. My parents were shocked when they found out how much I naturally belittled China and how well I fit in with the American values of individualism and questioning authority. Meanwhile, I spent most of my life living in left wing bubbles like San Francisco and Boston, though I did spend nearly 2 years in a city in Texas that went almost 80% for Trump in the last three elections. While I consider myself a left leaning independent rather than a Democrat, I still felt a bit out of place living there politically and also in the left wing bubbles as well. Even though, even then, I'm still friends with people there today who were overwhelmingly on the right. When I lived there, I sought to find common ground whenever people brought up politics, which actually didn't happen that much, rather than trying to fight them over disagreements. Maybe my standards are out of whack, but I think there's only a very narrow range of circumstances that justify cutting off family members compared to friends. Even if they've abused you or mistreated you in the past, I think it's still possible to make amends. I only think if they're physically threatening, or if they make every second of interaction with them unbearable and you've tried a lot to change the situation, is cutting them off justified. So, before you cut off your family members who believe something very different than you, first ask yourself why you want to cut them off. Do they bring up their politics or even try to convert you to their ideas? If so, respond to them with curiosity and an open mind. At least pretend to. Respond in ways like, "That's interesting. I've never heard of that. Please tell me more," rather than, "It ain't true. Stop saying that." You shouldn't change your own beliefs if you don't want to, but at least try to show that you've got an open mind to theirs, and then find an opportunity to deflect the topic to something else. This may not always work, but it's definitely the lowest hanging fruit you should try before resorting to cutting them off next year. Of course, if they never bring up politics, try not to be the first one to bring it up either. Thank you and happy holidays. Please subscribe to my channel for more controversial takes that are not on my main channel.